I'm getting my Mel Brooks props ready here.
Am I right in recalling that wasn't Mel Brooks on the very first show that you did?
Mel Brooks was on the very first Tonight Show I ever did, October 1, 1962.
Joan Crawford, Mel Brooks.
Rudy Valley and Groucho Marx.
Groucho Marx.
And you cannot pick up a magazine today without seeing a wonderful profile of my next guest, whom I've known, it'll be a week Thursday.
Yeah. He looks best as an Indian.
What?
He makes the best looking
Makes a
Indian.
fine Indian. And Newsweek said, has a cover story. It says, The Mad, Mad World of Mel Brooks. And about his latest film, Young Frankenstein, they said it was nuttier and funnier and more inspired than anything else been done in movies today. Would you welcome, please, the adorable Mel Brooks.
You know. Hello.
Come back, Shane.
Shane.
Shane,
Remember?
please. Brandon D. Wild.
Brandon D. Will, right?
Ran over the hill after
Alan Ladd.
Alan
right,
Ladd
I
saying
remember.
Shane.
Meat with fur on it.
Meat with fur on it.
Only good joke in the monologue. Only one.
That would appeal to your disturbed and distorted mind, right?
The guts. You have such guts. Guts. Your suits. Just everything you wear is so crazy, you know. Everything.
Well, what's wrong with it?
Your nose. Nothing is good, you know. You know, he's about 23. He makes up his hair all gray to look old, you know, to give it an older appearance, you know, to look like a person, you know. He's a silly kid. He's just really a silly kid. I really love you. I really love you.
Well, you know, you keep saying...
I mean, I really love you.
I know.
You know what I mean?
Really, this...
And I don't fall in love with guys, you know what I mean? I'm pretty tough myself. But every once in a while, a beauty comes along and...
It just clicks. Say, hey, that's for me.
You fall. What can you do?
You fall. How are you, mad genius? That's what they call you.
You know, the last time I wore this suit...
What?
I never wear a suit, but I don't like people coming on with Jewish stars and cross and everything. You know what I mean? They sit with
too
chains
much,
here,
yes.
you know? It's too much. And I hate 50-year-olds who desert their generation. You know what I mean?
Right.
Artie Shaw? Who's Artie Shaw? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They forget.
Sure.
You talk to people. You know, I'm 48. I'm going to be
Am
48.
I older than you are?
Yes. What? Excuse me. Yes. No, I don't. I was born on June 28th in 1926.
Oh.
When were you born?
Why? Are you holding a party?
No, I'm just...
Oh, I see.
When were you born?
I'll come, you know that.
Yes.
You never call me. Every time I see you, I run into you maybe, once every 3 or 4 months.
Yeah.
And I see you and Annie walking around the street.
We don't go out.
Reading the marquees, you know.
No, but seriously, we never go out. We're like home buddies, you know what I mean? So we hardly go. But if we did go out, you're the first person we'd go out with.
Okay.
But
October 23rd,
You were October, what year?
1925.
October 23rd, 1925.
Big 50 this year.
You're a Gemini. What the hell? I don't know, what
Here,
is...
I even give you the date and you didn't know. Most
October
people
20
tell you without even asking the date.
You're a Presbyterian. What is
I'm
that?
a Methodist. Yes, I'm a Scorpio. I'm on the cusp.
You're a Scorpio.
Cusp.
One of them. Scorpio.
That's right. Yaha, come here, little girl.
Yes.
Yeah. That's what they always say about Scorpios. Sexually maladjusted and, you know, cool whip and a spatula. You know.
Cool whip and a spat. That's not you. That's not your image.
I know it's not.
You're a nice person.
That's right.
Except
Jiminy
once
Cricket,
in
I
the
told
parking lot.
him, you know, what you'd said about my suit before I
Yeah,
came
we
out.
do look.
I look like Jiminy Cricket.
Wish upon... Don't do that, Pinocchio. Oh, Pinocchio, I'm ashamed of you.
What is
The
it?
National Academy of Television Arts and Sciences. I went to Dinah Shore's bar mitzvah at the Emmys.
Right.
And that's the last time I went.
Stiltman in the suit?
And Burt Reynolds made a wonderful speech.
Mm-hmm.
He loves her. He kisses her. He has half a mustache. He had smallpox when he was 3. And only half of him can grow a mustache. So he grows, this half he grows normal, nice, regular, beautiful. This half, they make one to, you know, pow.
Oh, come on now.
Yeah, I swear.
Is this a Hollywood scoop?
No, I made it up.
I'm buying it. I'm sitting here like, really? I didn't know.
The only
that.
2 guys I go out with is you and him. You know what I mean?
Well, that's as long as Bert's in there.
Can I have a sip of this?
Yes, please.
Little coffee that Ed has over there. The king lives.
Are you crazy on the air? Are you English sugar? I'm telling you, ladies and Jews, this... Plenty. You need plenty water after that.
Plenty water. Yeah, I saw your Young Frankenstein.
You were the one.
No, come on. You're making a fortune. What are you talking about?
It's doing.
People are queued up all over the country coming in. It's a mad, crazy, nutty, funny I don't know what you call it, a takeoff or parody, because you follow the old Frankenstein pictures in story. It's a horror movie, too.
There was a director many years ago by the name of James Whale who made all those wonderful Frankenstein pictures. He made Frankenstein, The Bride of Frankenstein, The Son of Frankenstein, The House of Frankenstein, Frankenstein's Friend Murray. He made and they were beautiful.
Yes.
And the moves and the look and the halos behind the ladies and the fear, and it wasn't like the Hammer films, you know, that with the little gory with the blood. You know, he made classic beauty. See, and so Frankenstein was to be a salute to James Whale as well as having fun with Mary Shelley's masterpiece.
And he had the original Frankenstein equipment.
Yes,
right,
we had Kenneth Strickfaden. We found him in Santa Monica in an alley, still with doing things to himself. We put him in a van.
And brought him
You can't take him in an open car, let's face it, you know what I mean?
with curtains on it.
And we brought him, and he made up all the electrical.
It's a funny picture.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. Why didn't you appear in that one? Now, you were in Blazing Saddles.
Too short for that.
Too short for...
It's for tall people. Monsters, big, tall, nice people. Zippers.
Would you like to be taller?
I would like to be taller, but I don't want to go through the expense of it. You know what I mean? It'd be too much, big investment.
And the period you have to stay home alone.
Yes, right. You have to stay home for 6 months.
That's right.
And, there's agony for the first week, the first week of the,
That's hardly worth it.
Yeah.
Hardly
and then if they don't set your ankles back again, right? Right? Harry Rich, the rest of your life, Harry Rich.
I fell down at the picture. There's some... you shouldn't tell some of the things that happen in the picture because it tips it, right?
No, I don't think we should talk too much about Frankenstein. Let me say one thing about Young Frankenstein, and that is Gene Wilder.
He's a funny man.
Gene Wilder.
He is a funny man. Hiya, gorgeous. You know what he said?
We were in a lot of trouble, and you know this for a fact. We were in a lot of trouble when we did Blazing Saddles. We had 2 men ready to play the Waco Kid that Mr. Wilder, that Gene Wilder eventually played. Remember what I shoot with that hand?
Mm-hmm.
He was wonderful as the Waco Kid. He shot their guns out of their hands, and he was compelling and touching and funny. And he did it for me one night. We were talking to you about it. You said, "Oh no, I don't do movies. I'm no good." Remember that?
You did call me. You called me about that.
No,
picture.
but I really love you, and I would love to do a movie with you.
I want to be a member of your stock company now. Now that you're a hit.
Yes, but they.
See, now that you're really rolling.
They get $1.75 a week.
$1.75.
That's why they're always there. They're dummies. Smart people. But anyway, Gene Wilder asked me about Young Frankenstein. He had an idea to do Young Frankenstein. And I said, we'll talk about it later, but I really owed him a big favor, and I began doing it as a favor. But the writing and the comedy and the fun, it got very good. It began to get really, really good. And as we began shooting it, it got funnier and funnier. I could not believe that it would turn out good, because, it's Jewish anxiety and guilt. I mean, how could you have such a good time? And what am I turning to you for Jewish anxiety and guilt? Jewish anxiety. Anyway, and it was wonderful. We were having a very good time, and I was afraid the picture would be a failure because we were just enjoying ourselves.
Are you more secure?
But it was
now?
Gene. It was Gene.
Yeah. Are you more secure now?
I am. I'm very. Are you kidding? I get 200 a week from him. Are you telling us to break? We'll come back to. Was that what the piano was saying? Is that what it's saying? Why don't you wear a tie, Schmendrick? There's people out there. All right. You're really wonderful with the race. What do they pay for that? I see that.
We're going to come right back.
I love that guy. He's a little gay, but wow, who cares? Who cares? He's a wonderful person. He's good. He's a church member. That's the most important thing. Who cares? So he goes to those bars. Who cares? It's not our business. That tall one you went home with the other night, that's scary. The one with the blue hair, Doc, please. I mean, you have a family. Have a little... Go in a closed car. What are you... through the sliding roof. Over,
The sunroof.
Oh, it was terrible.
We have to break away here for a second, but we're coming right back. We are back. We're talking with Mel Brooks, director, writer, producer, author, ashtray, whatever.
Yes.
We were talking about Gene Wilder.
Yes, I have a little film clip that I brought
Right.
to show that Wilder is the one that holds us together. The consummate talent, the paramount epitome of acting. He is a very good serious actor as well as comedian.
The catalyst.
And, yes, the Catholic. Did you say catalyst?
Catalyst.
Whatever, yes. Shut up when I'm talking.
Of course, you're rolling there real nice.
I want you to see in this film clip that we're all ready to break up and laugh, or we're biting our knuckles, everybody on screen. And Wilder is the one you can lean on, a rock. Show, please, show Gene
Watch
Wilder
the monitor.
in action.
This is The Rock. A rock. Man is a rock. Man is really a
He's
rock.
the greatest sucker for comedy. I mean, he cannot.
See Marty Feldman go?
Yes,
Just
Marty
out of
went.
it.
Marty. We all laughed. It was hard. One day when we were doing in the producers, Kenny Mars was doing the crazy German with the pigeon duty on his helmet.
Right.
And he was making a speech, and I was behind the camera eating a handkerchief, and there was the cameraman and the director of photography, and we all fell over with the camera at the same time.
A lot of people
And I cleared everybody away. I cleared
know it was gone.
I said, everybody out. This is professional. No laughing. Let the audience laugh, for God's sake. We'll watch it. Go ahead, Kenny.
on the deck.
Down.
Why do you make this in black and white?
The crayons. We lost all the crayons. We had such a big set. No, black and white because James Whale made his pictures in black and white. We didn't want to make one of those,
I see.
dopey new ones,
This is the third picture, I guess you could direct. What's the hardest part about making? Fourth. Excuse me.
Producers, the 12 Chairs, Blazing Saddles, and Frankenstein, Young Frank.
Of course.
Thank you. Thanks, Mom.
What's the hardest thing about making a film? Is it
The holes.
what?
The holes.
The holes?
The holes in the side of the celluloid. Everything, a hole, and a hole, and a hole. It's a million. It's a billion. The acting is nothing. The writing is nothing.
Making those little holes.
But every night. And then you get them.
And then they're all over and you don't know what to do with them.
Over. And then they're in your food, your potatoes.
You started out in the mountains, didn't you?
Yes.
Filling in for the comic who got sick one night and you went out and didn't have an act.
Good evening, ladies and germs. I just moved from Chicago, and boy, are my arms tired.
That kind of stuff.
I met a girl in Chicago. She was so skinny, the waiter said, check your umbrella.
That kind of
But
stuff.
one night, I really wanted to turn the Jews around.
Right.
To do something insane. So I did everything but no punchline. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I just flew in from Chicago. It was a little nauseous. They looked, all right. I met a girl in Chicago. She was so skinny, I was worried.
Very
A
thin.
little worried about her. I went to a doctor. She's all right. I got a room in Chicago. The room was so small. I called up. I said, change the room. I mean, I did every single joke known to man, but no punch, just straight, just philosophy.
This is a bad room. I don't like the room. They changed.
And they looked. They said, there's a somewhere here. Then I did. In the mountains, everybody was over 60. They didn't get things right away. Right away, they did. Like I say, ladies and gentlemen, the man of 1,000 faces. They waited. They waited for 1,000. Right? After 5.
They want to see 1,000 faces.
How much? No, I was up. I swear, I was up to about 30. I mean, how many faces? I said, when are they going to laugh? Oh. I mean, I don't know.
Then you went with Sid Caesar, the old show of shows with that mad, crazy group.
I would have been a comic 10 years earlier, but he was such a great vehicle for my passion. He could do anything. He mimicked people. I mean, he didn't do Bogart, he didn't do Cagney, he just did people, recognizable types. He really was, incredibly talented.
He did everything phonetically. Sid had been on the show. You know, he did great phonetic German, French, Spanish, Japanese, whatever.
He's great. He's really, and he's still great. And the problem with television is that it eats you up like little link sausages every week. So it's difficult to stay alive when you're high-powered. If you're a low-key comic, you can stay alive a little longer, you know. But Sid was too much. Sid was also the strongest human being. The strongest. Physically, the golden boy. He didn't like a joke. He lifted the metal desk and the tire. I don't like it. He said, okay. No, don't have to be in. It don't have to be in. Right?
You feel it or don't use it?
Very early on, when we did the show of shows, we went to Chicago, and I was writing for Sid. We played the Palmer House, the Empire Room at the Palmer House. And Sid rented a car, and we were driving in the car. Cab cut us off. Cab driver said things you cannot say on television. Sid said, moment, sir, moment. Got out of the car, went to the cab driver. Cab driver wearing a yellow hat and a little leather bow tie. And the cab driver is looking through this little clipper window. Remember those little clippers? And he says to Sid, more invectives, more, you know, very bad cursing. And Sid just said to him, do you remember birth?
Do you remember birth?
Birth. He said, what? Do you remember being born? Do you remember birth, your birth? He said, no, what? He said, we're going to reenact it. He grabbed him by the leather bow tie and began pulling him.
And pulling him through the little window?
And I promise you, Sid could have got him through, but I bit his hand.
Somewhere there's a very long cab driver back in Chicago to this day.
Yes, a very long skinny cab. He is very, very...
Yes, I remember.
In the beginning, I was hired only by Sid. Max Lehman didn't think I was a human person yet. He thought I was, I was the one who ran out and got Sid coffee. Light coffee, but he didn't think I was a writer. So the only things I could do were the little things. Like, they let me write The German Professor.
Oh, well, that's classic.
And so I wrote that for a while. And Sid was terrific at The German Professor. He was an authority on everything. He was, whatever you said, and he could ad-lib a lot. I mean, you could write with Sid on that. He was so great. We did one on sleep.
Sleep.
Oh, on that, I can't do it I'll just do a little. He said, what is sleep? You can put the body to sleep. You cannot altogether. To put the body to sleep altogether, it's going to get scared and get up. you got to put the body to sleep in little sections that one section shouldn't know the other's going to sleep. First, you start with the toes. The toes, they drop off. Then you stay with the knees. They put the little caps. Then you say to the belly, don't burble so much. Then you say to the heart, you just a nap. Don't nap all the way. Just a nap. A nap. And then the hardest part is the brain, to put the brain. The brain don't want to go to sleep. Don't worry, there's other pebbles on the beach. You'll find them. So you'll get another job. Brain, you're waking up the intestines. Come on. Rock up my brain in the skull. All right, everybody up. See, you woke everybody up. I am insulting it because he really,
No, you do. I want to come back and talk about your meeting with General Sarnoff, because that was strange.
I can't talk about that on television.
Well, you can maybe work around it.
No, we can't. Nothing.
I see.
We won't talk about it.
Okay. We'll go to something else.
And we're not going to go to something else either. What if you got a nut like that on the show? No, we're not going to talk about anything. We're just going to be here. What do you mean we're just going to be here? We're just going to be here, and they'll be here, and the cameras, and we'll just be here.
Sometimes you
But we're not going to talk. We don't have to talk. They'll know and we'll know.
I've had once in a while you get that. You've got to say to a guy, some actor, you say, I understand an amusing thing happened to you in Chicago.
I don't remember.
No, I don't recall that.
And then he looks to Freddie. You say, why did you book him? Why is he here? Get the hook. All right, anyway.
We'll be back. Right. We're coming right back. The king lives. I guess we can't talk about the late General Sarnoff.
Sure. You want to hear that story? Sure, I'm very mercurial.
General Sarnoff, these people don't know, but he's the father of Robert Sarnoff, he's now deceased, but he was the grand man who formed the whole Radio Corporation of America.
I think he, together with Lee DeForest, invented,
they were responsible for everything happening.
He was a giant of a man. I mean, he really was. And when I was a little kid working on the show of shows, the general himself, General Sarnoff, and Pat Weaver, who was then running the NBC network, and Max Liebman, God bless him, the producer of the show of shows, a terrific guy, and Sid Caesar were having a private meeting in Sid Caesar's office. And I felt, I wanted to be part of the meeting. You know how you want, you know, they're all the big shots, and I said, look, I won't make noise, I'll sit in the corner, you can't be, it's a meeting with big shots, you're nothing, you're dirt, get out. I said, please, so they wouldn't let me in. I went nuts, I ran around, I saw a derby, a straw, remember those straw boaters, one of them they had a little wire on them, a little straw, and a white duster. You know a duster?
Yeah.
From one of the sketches, Carl Reiner used to wear a white duster a lot. So I took the white duster, he was that way for it. So I took the white duster and the straw boater, and I burst through it had a big network meeting. I jumped on the desk. I jumped up on the desk and I said, Lindy landed. He's in Paris. He made it. And I threw my hat out the window. And the general, you know, Pat Weaver, who is this crazy kid? What, Lindy? That was 30 years ago. What happened? And so Liebman said, Mel, please. And I said, he's in Paris. The spirit of St. Louis down, Le Bourget, landed. Lindy. So they threw me out. They took all through me. They threw me out. 2 years later, I'm walking at the top floor of the RCA building, and General Sarnoff was walking with another guy with vests and chains and everything, and they're walking and talking, and he nods to me, I nod to him, at the end of the corridor, he turns, I stop, I turn around, he turns around, and I see him doing, Lindy landed. He's in Le Bourget, he did the whole It was explaining me.
He's a grand old man.
He never forgot, you know.
How would you forget that?
Yeah.
Lindy.
Nice man like that, and you on the desk.
Yeah, what about the person in the street when a straw hat came? You know what I mean, walking
Hey,
by.
may I ask you what this is?
This.
Since it's obviously just a piece of board.
Yeah, it's.
You're not just hawking a piece of board, are
It's
you?
a
I know
new-
when you're successful, you can sell anything, but a piece of board with a thing on it.
No, that's a record. It's a new concept.
There's no record in here.
No, you don't need the record.
Why's that?
No, you put this down, and or it plays. So, actually,
At any speed you choose, I suppose, yeah.
actually, I'm glad you're plugging it. This is coming out this week. People are interested in whether.
Am I holding it
Yeah.
wrong?
People
What is this? What is this all of a sudden? Where are you going, man?
I'm really crazy about it, but you know, I can't really communicate with you. You know what
Hi, gorgeous. Is this a musical album from Young Frankenstein?
The only thing-
I don't remember any music in Young
There's a
Frankenstein.
lot.
Very little.
Well, there isn't too much music, but there's a lot of funny dialogue, and that's the only point I wanted to
Oh,
make.
I see.
It's music and dialogue.
And dialogue.
It's on ABC Records.
So you get really two
and
for the price of
GRC
one.
Musical tape. It's very good. It's like a little radio show.
I see.
You play that at home, and then you get very excited to see the movie or to see Murray the Freak. Either one. I'm not sure.
Whatever does it to
Depends on
you.
you. He's in apartment 3A in Wilshire Boulevard.
Yeah. How do you answer people who said, now you've gotten comments from critics that Mel Brooks' humor is crass, right?
Yes,
It's,
I go.
It's vulgar. It's vulgar.
I usually. I answer them like that.
Well,
I tell.
you've always been a
I
master.
deny. I always deny. You know.
You've been a master of innuendo all your life. And you don't think he's clever, huh? Don't think that's genius? Folks, I'll tell you, show you genius.
Innuendo.
Man knows what he's talking
I like
about.
subtle. I don't like to be right up front. You know what I mean? I like to lay back and play it purple. You know what
That's
I mean? Soft colors. You know?
That's right.
There's nothing yellow and orange about me. You know? Never.
Right to the point.
The bean sequence in Blazing Saddles, quiet. You know what I mean?
That's right.
It's communication on the prairie. You have to look at it intellectually. Can't look at things with your nose. You know what I mean?
How do you figure out, since comedy is subjective, right? You'd agree to that. How do you know what's funny when you put something together?
don't know.
You know you could do a symposium on comedy, which usually turn out to be terribly dull.
Well-
Anytime you try to explain why something is funny, it's dull, right?
You want me to seriously?
No.
Oh, okay.
No. Those ought to be up by April.
That's
right.
That seriously, I would have given you a serious answer.
Well, I'd like a serious answer tonight. Mr. Brooks cleverly retorted.
Yes.
All right. Look at that.
You know comedy is funny when they're laughing. When it's quiet and you see a little forest fire, cigarettes, in the middle of a good comedy, you
That's
know?
wrong.
A lot of people lighting up, you know? You know something is wrong on the silver screen.
Right, so-
And you have missed the comic target by a mile.
So when you hear laughter,
When you hear laughter, you go, ah!
funny.
They got it.
Right.
They got the joke, right.
Well, that's...
But I'll tell you seriously that the Blazing Saddles was a very big private joke for me and the writers. We did it with Richie Pryor and Norman Steinberg and Alan Huger and Andrew Bergman. And we thought, let's do one movie to please ourselves.
I understand when you
Not
first
to the
showed it,
public.
though, to the executives in a screening room, they sat there like Mount Rushmore. It was...
I tell you, I don't know why my heart is beating today. The blood left me and went into my friend Benji. That's how scared I was. We played Blazing Saddles for the executives of Warner Brothers who shall be nameless. Ted Ashley, John Kelly.
Easy there. Easy there.
As a matter of fact, I love them both, and they both saved
Love
the
you.
picture because
Oh,
they were
shit.
big fights, and they pushed it through. But they watched, you know, these are our clinicians, these are professional people. They're not laughing like Jews for happiness, you know what I mean?
Right.
They're not, or Germans for killing. They're just, you know what I mean? They're just enjoying their craft. So it's
Right.
not important for them to laugh. They're saying, will this make money? Should we release it? Should we put advertising? You know, they're all
Tomorrow's
watching.
Tuesday.
And this is
Big
Blazing
Tuesday.
Saddles. And they're saying to Cleavon Little, how about a work song, you know? And he sings, I get no kick, you know, and no laugh. No laugh. The bean scene on the, nothing, and interesting. And that cowboy bent over a little too much. And then, and the whole fight when we pulled back and revealed the world, you know, when
Right.
Mongo went to the fire, I saw Johnny Carson at the Fox Wilshire Theater sitting with a very strange, no, that was your wife.
That's my wife, Joanna.
And he left his seat and went under 2 aisles when that Mongo went into the fire. Really left.
Leaned
But
over to light the cigar
in
into
that
the fire.
screening, there was no laugh, and I was just, you know, ice.
So it shows you it's all
No,
relative.
so I said to Mike Hertzberg, the producer, let's try a human being. So that night we got
Persons, really.
200 secretaries came with their husbands and their girlfriends, their boyfriends, and they all packed in together to a room at Warner Brothers, and we played Blazing Saddles, and it was a Chagall painting. They left their seats, they swam, they turned over sideways, they laughed, they were screaming. I said, ah! Oh, we did not make a mistake. It is funny, you know what I mean?
Right.
But it was very scary at the beginning. And then, little by little, you know, it turned out to be a very big... When they play music next time, he's finished. He's finished because he has to do that with
We
the
have to
pencils.
leave.
Very nervous.
But we're
you
coming
know?
right back.
Okay. Can I do this? No.
When you were a kid,
The skinny ends are better. The fat ends just save the sticks, you know what I mean? Right. Yeah, okay.
we were...
If you play the front ends, you take a big chance, you know?
Right. We're talking about drumming, because you took lessons when you were a
Oh,
kid from Buddy
yes.
Rich.
Yeah.
Right, you live in the same neighborhood.
In Brighton Beach. He's the best. Buddy, right? Buddy. Tops and tops.
Tops and taps.
And you're a very good drummer. You
Oh,
really
no,
are.
I just fool
You
around
have
here.
time, you have tempo. You just have very weak wrists. No offense.
I found out when I was very young, I did, yes.
And no timing, but that's all right.
But I make up for it because I have my drum lights up, bass drum,
But
with a
the
mountain
only
on
thing that you make up for it is that you know Mel Lewis. Otherwise, forget about it. All
True.
right. Yeah. Just for the band. I'm still working in the mountains for the band, right? Sorry, folks. Forgive me. No inside shtick from now on. Just our stuff. You know what I mean?
You see Carl all the time, don't you? Carl Reiner?
Anybody have a green Dodge? Wait. Carl. I
You see
Carl.
all the guys from the old show? Howie Morris?
Oh, Howie Morris. How I miss him. Howie Morris is directing some of the best commercials on television, the McDonald commercials.
Does he do those?
That's Howie Morris, right. He's terrific. Howie Morris was my victim, you know. He's my... God made pigeons, he made little doves, and he made Howie Morris. And he said, they shall be called prey.
Prey?
P-R-E-Y. Yes,
Right.
They shall be called prey. And then he made wolves and foxes and tigers, and they shall be called Melvin. And I went in, the minute I saw Howie on the shows, they introduced me to, I went for his neck. You know, I couldn't help it. He's just, you have to go for him. Anyway, I met Howie, and we went out, and we had lunch, and we were walking down in the village near McDougal Alley. I said, gee, wouldn't, in my mind, I said, this would be a splendid place for a robbery. Bang, I hit him. I smacked him against a yellow Buick. I said, give me your wallet, give me your ring, your watch, everything, your money. He didn't know me that well. He said, wait a minute, are you kidding? I'm not kidding. I want everything. Give me, all right. He gave me his watch, his wallet. Okay, don't hit. Gave me his wedding ring. I went back. I get a call from Sid. Howie just called me. What did you? I said, I robbed him. He said, well. I said, just tell him I'm a little nervous, not to mention it because it's liable to get me more angry. 1 month.
Don't bring it up.
For a month, he didn't bring it up. He was afraid. A month later, he said, Mel, do you remember we were walking down McDougal Alley and you gave me a whack, you hurt me, and you took my wedding ring and I can't drive my car. I need my license. Oh, I'm sorry, Howie. Yeah, I gave him everything back. He's a cute guy. I gave everything back. 2 years later, we're rowing in Central Park Lake under a bridge. I said, this is a perfect. Pow! I hit him. He gave me his watch, his wedding ring. He put his shoes around his neck, he walked the shore. I love him, he's a wonderful guy. If he's not watching this show tonight, I will rob him in 6 months.
We're coming right back. Stay there.